You get a new board game, you're excited to play it, but you open the box and the rulebook is thicker than a castle wall. And in order to play the game, you have to swim across this murky moat of a rulebook to get to the enjoyment of playing the actual game. But not today. Today I'm sharing with you my top 10 list of easy to learn solo board games. So whether you're an experienced gamer or you're new to the hobby, this list is for you. Let's dive in. Top 10 easy to learn solo board games. Starting off at number 10 is my only micro game on this list, but it proves you don't need a big box to deliver a good time. In Gate, you'll be defending your town, farm, and tower from 3 waves of enemies. You'll be using your fellow townsfolk to recruit more townsfolk, repair damaged buildings, and attack the baddies. It's easy to learn. The enemies advance, you draw your 3 cards, play them each for one of their icons and special power if you so choose, then the enemies attack you, causing damage to an area of your village. Some of the enemies cause fear, which triggers certain things in the game, like recruiting one-time use heroes or causing more damage to your village. And that's it. I enjoy the game because look at it. It comes in this little tin. You pop it open and you're up and running within 5 minutes. There's a quick reference card reminder for setup and another for the turn sequence. It has a touch of deck building thrown in with tower defense. I do recommend that if you check out some playthroughs and decide to get it, go ahead and save yourself on shipping and pick up its expansion Gates. It lends variability and way more replayability. It's available on the GameCrafter website. I'll pin a link in the comments because you won't find this at your local gaming store. Coming in at number 9 is a game that's part character builder, part story generator, and all about forging your hero's destiny. In Call to Adventure solo mode, you'll face off against an adversary of your choosing, crafting your backstory, attempting challenges, and gaining traits that shape the kind of hero you become. Each turn, you'll either gain a trait or attempt a challenge by casting runes, which you can think of as 2-sided dice. You always roll 3 basic runes, but challenges let you add more based on the theme of the challenge and the cards you've added to your character. Take this challenge for example. You can choose to excel in your studies or learn deep lessons. In order to successfully overcome this challenge, you'll need 4 successes. You'll always get to use the 3 basic runes, which have 1 success on one side and 0 on the other. But both of these challenges will allow you to add runes of the matching type. This icon here is Intelligence, and this one is Wisdom. If you already have cards in your story with matching icons, you get to cast those runes for this challenge. For instance, my character started as an apprentice, which does have an Intelligence icon, so I can add an Intelligence rune to my 3 basic runes. But I also picked up this Studious trait, which gives me an Intelligence icon as well, so I can add a second Intelligence rune to cast. These runes are a little more powerful, with the symbol side being 2 successes and the other being 1 success. You cast them all together and count your successes to see if you overcame the challenge or not. If so, you now add that to your story. And if we took on the Excel in Your Studies challenge and beat it, we now add that to our story and we gain an extra Intelligence rune when taking on challenges that require it. If we took on and overcame learning deep lessons, we would add a Wisdom rune to future challenges requiring it. And most importantly, during the final showdown with your adversary. There's a little more to the game, but that is the main staple. Call to Adventure is easy to learn and flows smoothly once you get going. You'll build your character by adding 9 cards across 3 acts, then face your adversary in the final confrontation. Now, if you are looking for a deeply strategic or tactical combat game, this is not the game. But if you enjoy tapping into your creativity and letting your imagination go, and the idea of inventing a storyline, taking your studious apprentice and inventing a story of how he was able to be tempted by darkness, solve a mystery, feed the poor, escape with the treasure, and defeat a demi-lich before becoming an archmage and taking on a warlock in the final scene. If blending all that together into a credible story is something that sounds appealing to you, then I think you're going to find that this game is something special. If you are going to get this game for solo play, I recommend Call to Adventure Epic Origins. The solo play is more rounded than the core box Call to Adventure. You can actually get it used. I think they had 2 copies for $25 on Noble Knights Games. It's going for $45 on Amazon. I think that's a deal, especially if the storytelling aspect sounds appealing to you. I think you'll really enjoy the game. Anyway, that's my number 9, Call to Adventure. Coming in at number 8 is a game that blends app-guided exploration, branching storylines, and dice-based skill checks into an immersive solo experience. In Destinies, you'll start by choosing a story to play and listening as the app sets the scene with the narrative and context. Then, you'll pick one of 3 characters, each with their own starting items and starting skill values. The app will guide you in laying out the initial map tiles, and from there, it's all about exploration. You'll move across the board, interact with points of interest, and meet NPCs who might offer help, present challenges, or send you off on unexpected quests. Every interaction nudges you closer to uncovering secrets, solving mysteries, and fulfilling your chosen destiny. The app is your guide, narrator, and rules manager all in one. At various interactions, you can scan QR codes on items you've acquired to interact with the world while working towards one of 2 unique destinies tied to your character. What I love most is how streamlined it all is. The app handles all the rules. All you have to do is decide where you want to go and what you want to interact with. The only real thing you need to know how to do is how to do skill checks. So let me show you. Here on your player board are your 3 skills: intelligence, dexterity, and strength. And you can see the wooden markers within each of them that vary depending on the character you choose to play with. When you make a skill check, you always roll your 2 white dice, but you can also spend any effort dice from your pool to boost your total. Say I had to perform a strength check, and I had 2 effort dice in my pool. I decide how many, if any, of those effort dice to roll. Here, I'll choose 1. I roll the dice, total them up, then check my skill tracker to see how many successes I got. Here we scored 3, so we tell the app and the story continues. Just know, effort dice leave your pool when used. At the start of each new day, you refresh 1 back. As you explore, you'll earn XP, which you can spend to upgrade your skills by sliding 2 of your wooden markers 1 space to the left. You now know how to play. Now, if you're hoping for deep strategy, Destinies is not going to scratch that itch. But if you're looking to uncover story, explore choices, and watch your journey unfold, then Destinies delivers. It's a choose-your-own-adventure game with a cinematic vibe. You already know how to play it, so if you want a game where you like story over complexity, then this is it. That's my number 8, Destinies. The next easy-to-learn game on the list is one where you take on the role of a black hole. In Singularity, you'll begin with a small amount of gravitational pull, and your goal is simple: consume and destroy every card in the galaxy. Planets grant you additional gravitational pull when consumed, fueling your cosmic hunger. But watch out, cosmic storms can emerge and destroy them, cutting off your gravitational supply. You'll also encounter various types of stars, each for the most part offering a unique ability that lets you manipulate the galaxy in powerful ways when consumed. For instance, the pulsar star will allow you to move a card from the top of one sector to the top of another. The binary star will allow you to destroy a card in an adjacent sector, while a supernova will allow you to destroy the card underneath it. Consuming stellar fragments will allow you to look at and rearrange the 3 cards underneath it, and a neutron star will allow you to move a card from distant space directly into the Singularity. The game starts with 8 mini decks arranged around your Singularity, each one representing a sector of the galaxy. There's also a separate deck called Distant Space. As you consume cards, sectors will eventually empty. When that happens, the top card from Distant Space refills the sector, unless a gravitational anomaly is present. These anomalies, called gravity well nebulae, disrupt the natural flow of the cosmos, blocking new celestial bodies from entering the threshold. If one of these is present when a sector empties, it causes a gravitational strain, and you'll place a Dark Rift token in the sector to represent that imbalance. And if you ever have to place a 3rd Dark Rift token, the threshold tears apart and you lose. You'll also have to deal with dark matter that merges sectors together and shrinks the threshold, restricting your available choices. So you'll continue to manipulate and consume the galaxy until you either devour every card and win, or collapse from running out of gravitational pull. Now this game is a bit of a self-shout-out because it's one that I designed myself. But I did design it to be easy to set up, quick to learn, challenging, and have a definitive win-loss condition. So if you want a game that you can jump right into the action, then this is it. This game is also available on the Game Crafter, and of course I will drop the links below. That's my number 7 choice, Singularity, and I'll be pairing it with my number 1 choice on this list for a giveaway. I'll give you all the details at the end of the video, so stick around. Next on the list is a game where you take on the role of the Queen's Mapmaker, tasked with charting the unclaimed northern lands of the kingdom. In Cartographers, each round begins with the new Explore card being revealed. It shows you a specific shape and sometimes multiple terrain types to choose from. It's your job to fit that shape somewhere onto your map, drawing it in pencil right onto the grid in front of you. But this isn't just about Tetrising shapes wherever they'll fit. The game is driven by 4 scoring objectives: and only 2 of them are scored each season. And what I really love about cartographers is how these goals rotate and shift across the 4 seasons, changing what's worth points as you go. One season might reward you for clustering villages, another might want you to build forests along the map's edge. Because the changing of the season changes what goals score, you'll be planning ahead, trying to make sure that each placement counts. You'll even be ambushed by monsters too, forcing you to add them to your map. And these will hurt your score if you don't box them in. But don't worry, the game stays light and smooth. Cartographers teaches fast, plays fast, and lets you build something that's uniquely yours every game. So whether you're aiming for a tight, efficient score, or just want to see what your little hand-drawn kingdom looks like at the end, this one's a great solo puzzler. That's my number 6, Cartographers. Coming in at number 5 is a game that pits your warrior wraith up against varying elemental giants as you take on the role of village protectorate. In Wraith and the Giants, you play as either a young, adult, or elder wraith. And each turn you'll take a look at the giant's weak spots and try to maneuver yourself into position to do damage to those vulnerabilities. We can see here that the giant has 5 weak spots: D2, D3, C2, B3, and all of A. Those are the only areas that we can do damage to the giant. Now let's look at our hand. We have 5 cards, and we can use them to move around the giant and attack it. We play 2 cards each turn, the first in our top row, the second in our bottom row. As we play them, we layer them on top of each other. One of the things I really enjoy about this game is how the card effects layer and get stronger as you play. You see, this card here, Dash and Slash, has a set amount. You move up to 2 spaces in the up direction on the giant, and you also do 2 damage to the location you're in. You can perform these maneuvers in any order. But our Falling Blade card has a jump down action, which we can jump down as far as we'd like, and it also has an attack action with the hand icon next to it. And that lets us do an amount of damage equal to the amount of those icons that are visible on the row we play it in. So here in our top row, it'll do 2 damage. But in our bottom row, it'll do 4. And I enjoy the process of layering these icons because it gives me the sense of progression that I get stronger with every card that I play. Now, where you end your turn matters, because on the giant's turn, he'll be attacking the locations listed on the leftmost card in its tableau, unless there are any damage tokens on it. After that attack, the card is discarded, damage tokens and all cards shift to the left. A new card is dealt to the far right, and we check its icon, because if there are any matching icons in the row, it will trigger attacks on those cards as long as the cards don't have damage tokens on them. This leaves a fun bit of semi-randomness in the giant's attacks, as you can see where it may attack, but can't be certain that it will. And this is the back and forth. You'll be strategizing what are the best cards to play, and how can I strengthen my top and bottom action rows with matching layers of icons so that I can land those really powerful attacks later on, as well as being able to move and get into the position that I need to, all in the meanwhile trying to avoid the giant's attacks. Let's take a look at the giant's weakness cards again. There's a number by the shield. Whenever we inflict damage to a weak spot, we place it on the corresponding card, and if there's ever damage equal to the shield amount, it is immediately flipped over and becomes a scar. If we cause 3 scars to the earth giant, we win. We also win if we bring his health pool to 0. In the case of the adult and elder wraith, all damage that's inflicted to the giant is removed from your player board and triggers special abilities, giving you some extra options to work into your strategy. There are a couple other minor things going on in the game, but that gives you a strong sense of what the gameplay provides. I will be doing a how to play playthrough on the channel, so if you're interested in that, consider subscribing if you're not. That's my number 5, Wraith and the Giants. Coming in at number 4 is a game that stems not only from the legendary novel series, but also from the biggest role-playing franchise of all time. And even though it comes in a big box packed with components, it's surprisingly easy to learn. That balance of epic adventure and streamlined rules makes for a truly enjoyable experience. In The Legend of Drizzt, you'll step into the boots of iconic characters from R.A. Salvatore's Icewind Dale series. Drizzt Do'Urden, Bruenor Battlehammer, Catti Bree, Wulfgar, and Regis the Halfling. Even Artemis Entreri is available as a playable character. On your turn, you'll move and attack and move, or move twice. You also have special abilities you can trigger, and then the dungeon reacts. You'll reveal a new tile, draw an encounter card, or both. And monsters follow simple AI instructions printed right on their cards. There's no dungeon master required, just pick a scenario, follow the setup, and dive in. The first scenario is designed for a single character for you to learn the mechanics of the game. After that, you'll need to run 2 or more characters, but you can still keep things moving at a brisk pace. What I love most is the nostalgia. Rolling that d20 to land a hit brings me right back to childhood D&D sessions. And facing off against legendary enemies like Shimmergloom or Eritu the Baylor Demon, alongside Drizzt and Brunner, that's peak fantasy fun. Now this game's not going to be for everyone. Like most dungeon crawlers, the gameplay loop can feel repetitive. But for me, this game hits so many high notes. The immersive theme, the nostalgia, the simplicity, and the variable player powers and the treasure cards, all of those things combined to earn The Legend of Drizzt the number 4 spot on my list. At number 3, we have a game where you get to build your very own stretch of Pacific Northwest wilderness, one tile and one animal at a time. In Cascadia, on each turn, you'll pick a terrain tile and a matching animal token, then place them into your growing landscape. It sounds simple, and it is, but the real challenge comes from the scoring patterns. Bears might want to group up, salmon love to swim in long winding paths, and hawks, they want to stay as far apart as possible. You'll score points based on the differing animal patterns as well as grouping together like terrain types. The beauty of Cascadia is how approachable it is. The rules are easy to grasp, but there's plenty to think about. The solo mode is smooth and relaxing with just enough tension to keep you pushing for that high score. And what I love is the fun puzzling of where to place your tile, while keeping your terrain type and your animal pattern front and center. So if you're looking for a game that's easy to learn, satisfying to play, and peaceful to look at, I give you my number 3, Cascadia. At number 2, we've got a game that turns you into a full-blown detective, without needing a rulebook the size of a novel. In Chronicles of Crime, you're going to be solving crimes using a clever mix of physical cards and an app. You'll scan QR cards to visit locations, question suspects, and dig through evidence. It's quick to get going, no setup grind, just load up the app, lay out a few cards the app tells you to, and you're right in the investigation. Each case is its own story, and the pressure's on because every action takes in-game time. Talk to too many people or visit too many places, and you might run out of time to crack the case. This tension keeps things sharp. But what I love most about Chronicles of Crime is searching the scene for clues. It's immersive in a way most board games just can't touch. Now this isn't a game you'll replay the same case over and over. Once you solve it, that's it. But with tons of expansions and downloadable cases, there's always another mystery waiting. It's a great solo game, so if you want something that's easy to learn, makes you feel smart, and delivers that aha detective moment, Chronicles of Crime is a no-brainer at number 2. Coming in at number 1 is a game where brains beat brawn, because you've been shrunk down to the size of a paper clip. Everyday household objects now tower over you. A nail is a spear, a thumbtack is your shield. And that shadow in the corner? Probably a cockroach with a grudge. This is Gloomhaven Buttons and Bugs, a solo-only reimagining of the massive tactical RPG. It keeps the core of Gloomhaven's card-driven combat, but streamlines everything into a fast, portable package. Each scenario plays out on a card, with the starting position of your character and the enemies marked right on the map. Every turn, you'll choose the top action of one card and the bottom action of another, maneuvering around obstacles, landing blows, and dodging enemy attacks as best you can. You'll have to make the most of your limited actions though, because every card you play brings you closer to exhaustion. Thankfully, the game includes a fantastic reference card for the iconography, so you can get right into the action. Don't let the size of the box fool you. Buttons and Bugs provides that same satisfying hand management that Gloomhaven's known for, albeit in a limited manner. Scaled down, just like you saw from the size of the map. But what's not scaled down is the challenge. The decisions matter in this bite-sized puzzle of a game, and that's why it earns the top spot on my list. And as a thank you for watching, I'll be doing a giveaway for Gloomhaven Buttons and Bugs, as well as a copy of my own game, Singularity. The contest details will be in the description below. Just be sure to enter before the channel hits 1,500 subscribers, because that's when the contest ends. That's it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next video.